69%. Anyway, the end. What are we doing today? Let's see. I think I'd like to go back to the supercomputer and review what its login credentials even are. That's one of the looming objectives that's been sitting here since, like, maybe even probably episode 2 or 3. And it's been a bit, so I don't remember. Actually, there's a computer in the basement somewhere that I went to once. Hi there. Okay. Username, password, memory sequence. Okay. So these letters became I-E-L-R-O. Lorelei? L-O-R-E-L-E-I. Yeah. The same 5 letters repeat throughout that. So L... God, I'm trying to find this thing here. Buh. We're looking for something that curls in the top left. Okay, I don't see it, so that's a bad start. Well, there it is. No, it's like that. Yeah, S-U. Yeah, the S-U is L. So for those that don't remember, these are from the point-and-click adventure game segment and the posters. We have the shredded posters that we then reconstruct into these based on the shape of the poster, and then it gave us the red symbols, and then we didn't know what those meant. But then the magician in each of the weird point-and-click adventure game segments had whichever magician we found in each one then translated each of these symbols for us one by one by saying that this letter was on this poster. So based on recognizing which poster the symbol was on, we now know what letter it is. Let's see, L, so O, might be this. Bucket down, bucket up, yeah. L-O, R is a wibbly wobbly. They're all next to each other, kind of, huh? L-O-R, E, this one looks like a noose. Uh-huh. E. L. E. Then Lorelei. Okay. So I believe I know the answer to the login name, just from based on the fact that the letters involved are the ones you would use to spell Lorelei. They would not spell Renata, they would not spell Renzo, or Lorenzo, or Nero. Yeah, so I shouldn't be able to spell anyone else's name besides Lorelei, so that's why I think it's that. Don't know what these shapes are, and I think I also technically haven't confirmed anything, because I think when you just hit enter, it just goes to the next thing anyway. Yeah. And then, yeah, I forgot about this one. This is the weird one. Are these the names of the rooms that I've been opening? 1962 is in my book. 1962. 1932. Yep, that's the one on the far left. 1953. Yep. 1957, 1938, 1948, 1960. Okay. So in my book, in my notebook, there are 7 rooms, and looking at this, there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So I have 2 more rooms to encounter, and it's possible that I've solved none of them, if these are the answers to all of the art installation rooms, because this seems to suggest that there is one answer. There are 3 options total for all 9 rooms. And I have to categorize each room into being in one of these 3 slots. And if that's the case, then... uh-oh. Because a few of my answers are not numbers, and of the ones that are numbers, I have 0517, 5314, 0753, and 9642. Those are very obviously not the dates we see here, because our options are 1847, 1963, and 2014, the 3 years that keep coming up throughout this. So... I should write this on this page at least. 1847, 1963, 2014. So those are our 3 options. If I'm correctly interpreting that this is where you put the answers to the art rooms, which... maybe those rooms will make more sense when I confine myself to these options, but I'm a bit concerned. Because I feel like I drew reasonable conclusions about what the answers were for at least some of these, so the fact that none of them match any of these options is a little worrying. Login failed. Verity sequence cannot be initiated. Alright, so it doesn't really give you any feedback about what's right or wrong, too. Which makes sense, because it's cybersecurity. You don't generally want to be like, oh, no, yeah, buddy, you were so close, try again. This part's just off a little bit, and, like, hint at how to fix being wrong about the password you're guessing at. Alright, so there's a staircase that goes to the other side of this door, which doesn't seem super important, because it's just a shortcut, I guess, but... I do tend to wonder, like, it's gonna be the cellar, right? It's the bottom. That part's definitely kind of curious, because I think there's no indication of what staircase that could be. Now I'm wondering, is there a notation system that indicates whether a staircase is going up or down? And I'm inclined to say no. Okay, I guess the staircase that's in the front courtyard is the one that leads underground. I just don't know how to get behind those. Wow, I'll have an espresso, please. Wow. Look at her go. Look at her go. Now I can chase the dog. Alright, there's an American dollar in... Okay, you get in there from the ladder that's above it. So there's a ladder on the 2nd floor that drops down. Okay, and I think that's... I think that that is the dead woman lock. Which is one of the ones that really confuses me. Yep. The strange lock featuring the dead woman that seems to be some kind of code because it doesn't seem like it's going to spell a word or anything. The options are very weird on this one. So this leads to the balcony, which leads to the staircase, which leads to the front gate, which leads to the cellar, which leads to the supercomputer. And I imagine that somewhere in that string of rooms is like an actual thing worth having. So we don't have the 1973 key yet. I could use some more answers. I do now know when SC Bolt was born, which I think is one of the ones that I haven't gotten to use yet. I think I just discovered that. So I could probably make some progress with the maze. We don't know how to do the doors that have card suits on them, of which there are multiple right around here. Sometimes it's hard to tell at a glance what you have and haven't done nearby. Gnome. In Gnome, or Nome, we are invited to see the thoughts of a person as they are formed. 9 slates, some containing letters forming a seemingly nonsensical word, seem to grow as ideas on the subject's forehead. The piece is cryptic, even maze-like, and ultimately lets us use our imagination to project our own ideas on its slates. So this one always stands out because it looks like it says Nero on it, which is one of the names we know, which makes it seem less nonsensical, but makes us wonder what it's going for. Let's see. NER2O. With weird blanks everywhere. How many digits is this? This is 5 digits. It's presumably numbers or directions given the lack of context. It has the same configuration of buttons as the sign, so they might be related. This one being alone, it's 50-50, where like it could be the tutorial for the other puzzle, like a hint that helps you figure out what to do with that one, or it could be the capstone that you do after you figured out the other puzzle, if they're even actually related to each other. This is the one that's always weird to me. Two Nate. 2 and 1. Lie. 2 and 1. Okay, there's four statues. There's 2 women and 2 men, and 1 man has this hat. You're Lorenzo, potentially, but it's hard to parse what I'm supposed to do between Lorenzo and 32 and 1. But if these are the characters, if it's just the names of the 4 characters that have the statues, then this is Lorelei, right? Because Lei and Renata. Renata and Lorelei are the 2 that have easy to read names, as much as you can read a name that's half missing. And these ones are much harder. Huh. 32 lie, 32, and 1. No. Is it a replacement puzzle? Lorelei? That Lorenzo? $32, $32. So 32 probably means Lauren? Laura? Lore? If 32 is lore, then Lorelei. Lorzo. Then 1 would be Zoe. Similarly, this would be Renate. So 2 would be R-E. Re. If 2 is Re, then this is Renzo. Renzo. Renzo, Lorelei, Renate, and Lorenzo. Their names are constructed with pieces of each other to have overlap, and that's how this puzzle works? Hmm. One, two, three. So 2 being re is half of 32, which is low re. And then since it's a typewriter puzzle, there's no numbers, so we need to put the letters in the order, and usually the numbers are the order that the password's in. So Lorenzo, 1 is Zo, so Z-O, 2 is R-E, 3 is L-O. So, yeah, Lorenzo. So Zo, Zorello, Zorello. It had to be it all had to be on caps lock. That's goofy. Well, alrighty then. We'll get some context from my bug report page now. Hallway issue. Let's see. Pi. She. Omega. And then I had written down Magician Hallway, CD2. Hallway issue 1 ID Pi. Interacting with the magician repeatedly will corrupt the dialogue text. Okay, well that's the one then. Let's see, so CD2. That's the one I found on my own. Interacting with the magician will repeatedly will corrupt the dialogue text. Repeatedly triggering corrupt dialogue will eventually make the magician turn into the player character. When interacting with the player character, the software will crash. Hallway issue 2 ID, she. Standing closely behind the pointing woman while facing the opposite direction she points will trigger a corrupt animation for the pointing woman when pressing the button. The wall to which the woman was pointing will corrupt and lose its collision, leading to a corrupt path. Walking down the corrupt path will result in a software crash. So stand behind her, face the other direction, press a button, then go to where she's pointing. Omega. Walking through door 1, then door 9, then door 6, and finally door 3 will trigger a corrupt scene. It's followed by a software crash. A corrupt scene is always fun. There could be weird dialogue or something. 1963. Alright, we'll do the woman first, though. Also, it's good to have this in my past now. This place was haunting me. I also need to figure out where the video game console even was. I think going in that room and turning to the back right corner for that video game console, I think that's the one that's number 3, I think. The one that I already finished. Yeah, this spot's on the other side of the crack. It's probably that one, because that one's a late arrival. It's on the 2nd floor. But I'm up on the 3rd floor. What am I gonna do? It is funny running everywhere now. She's got the speed in her. The more of this building we functionally disregard, the more wild things get. Oh, there's all the shards. How's my caffeine influence is going down, bladder's going up? I wonder if you actually have like a, oh no, I have to pee interruption, or if it just becomes a thing where you have to pee before you're allowed to drink anymore. Yep, this is the hallway. I think she was at the top. I think the magician was the one at the bottom, because that's the glitch I've already done. We are not there yet. Stand here, turn my back to her. Insufficient memory. She freaks out a bit. Yup. Oh! That seems to be Renzo's body, or Nero? The names are really weird. 62A. Given that we usually aren't even seeing people's faces, it's kind of hard to keep track of everyone's names when there's such minor switches of each other. Okay. That was easy. Now... 1963. Okay, well, I think I know which one's 1. 1... Where's 9? On the right. 1963. Okay. Just want to make sure I had a plan for how the route was going to work, because if I didn't, there's a chance that I might have gone through one door then found out that it's impossible to go through the next numbered door next, based on the room that it puts you in. And that would have fucked us up. But the route does not seem very hard to parse. I might even do it without checking again. So 196. And then I think 3 is on my right. Yep. Uh-oh. Huh. Okay. 8CO. I wonder how many of these, let's see. This might be every bug report because I think there's only 3 video game consoles on the map, but also we're pretty late in the system, and I haven't seen any more keyboards and stuff. So we have 9 codes with 3 letters each. That's 27 digits. Huh. I don't think they can be... the letters are all over the place in them too. I don't think they're like their coordinates or anything. There are patterns in these. E35, 5C2, 97B, CD2, 62A, 8CO, 96, F96, 88E, 8IB, or 81B, probably. I think there's always 1 letter and 2 numbers, but not always in the same order. 8s and 9s show up a fair amount, but don't know if that really counts as a pattern. Now that I've functionally finished an entire major puzzle, the next step is figuring out where to actually fucking input the answer. I think the backyard maze thing was 16 digits, so that's not it. Revolver door, hearts door, 1982. Clubs door. Reaching the center of the maze and so on. Yes, we already went back to the video game console. So my new mirror is on the ground floor, on the left. It's the one I always remember how to get back to. Or I always forget how to get back to. Maybe this time. Okay, so... at the very least, I believe we know SC Bolt's birthday, and I don't think we knew this last time. Fuck. I really need to figure out Andreas Coleman. The struggle is even knowing where to look throughout, because I have so many records, so it's just like, geez, like, where do I even look for this person if I don't happen to remember them? Like, I completely stumbled upon my answer about the puzzle maker because I just happened to look at that puzzle page for a bit. You the one? How many tombstones stand in the mausoleum? 3, I hope. I wrote down 3, so I hope I'm right. Okay. I'm still nervous every single time because if I'm wrong, I get shot. I would like to not lose time, as it turns out. Alright, new space to explore. There's a guy and there's a dollar. Gamble to pass or perish. So this one should be new, I think. The 1960s supercomputer was called the OCU, followed by which number? 3? I'm pretty sure it's OCU 3, and I literally just like saw it around recently, but I would like to verify it regardless. What'd go wrong? I'll just hope I remember correctly. Okay, there we go. It's fine. It's fine. It's fine. We're fine. I'm fine. Dollar. And immediately another guy. They're really dense here. Let's see, where are we on the map? I'm about to loop back up. So this just makes me loop back north. And I'm near the middle, which means I'm just heading back towards the middle, the beginning. So going this way should be kind of pointless. This might be the guy that asks you about Bolt. I feel like Bolt's the person I've been on both sides of, actually, so that, I think it's the useless one. But I might as well just do it. Oh. What year did the exhibition Verschlossene Erinnerungen take place in Düsseldorf? I never figured this one out. I don't know if it's tied to Lorelei Weiss or not. Oh, Renzo Nero's the same person, right? That's his first and last name. We're not just Schwarzwald. This does highlight Renata as being a different person, whereas Lorelei explicitly is the one who did all these pieces of art. Uh-oh. No, I misclicked. Incorrect. God damn it. I meant to leave. Well, time to... God, I don't even know. I might have to redo the bugs. I might have to do the bug testing and the other thing. And then also come back and redo the part of the maze I just did. Man, that's a brutal misclick, and there's no way to leave the menu once you're in it. You're like, oh fuck, I just accidentally opted into the answer I don't know how to give. Yup, I have to do the other... Okay, so I need to also solve... I think I also need to go solve the statue puzzle again. Alright, so I just gotta go redo the whole episode so far. I don't think I've saved yet today in the last half an hour. Yep, I am returned, bitches. speak your query once more, brother. What year was Dr. S.C. Bolt born? Truth above all. Risk my life, brother. So in my notes, it's 1949. 1940, yep. From the inner jacket, or first page or whatever, of the puzzle book I've been using the entire goddamn game. Whoops. So I caught up, I redid everything that I did before I died, whoops, and then I also happened to find the guy who was asking the question I was looking for. That said, I think I was right when I said earlier that that was the most optional. Yeah, right past him you can see I already got this dollar. So that was an extremely optional guy to get out of the way, but hey, I did it. Let's see. I guess I can cross out Bolt. Tombstones, and fight, of course, with wine. So I think at this point my entire maze is now reduced to the questions about Verschlossene, Erinnerungen, Düsseldorf, and Coleman after midnight. I really need to figure out the answers to those goddamn questions, because... Where am I going? We want to head south. Because I think I'm fully on hold at making any more progress in this maze till I can get at least one of those answers. Maybe both. Yep. Bear me, brother. I'm back to being extra nervous and carefully watching those screens to make sure I click the right thing so I don't accidentally get a death like last time where I just clicked a little iffily and locked myself into the dying option. Whoops. Alright, well right now I need one of the doors to show up. Here's one. Because I indeed needed to leave again. Alright, let's save that progress. Alright, what am I gonna do next? Good question. This floor is nice and filled in. I don't have some of the keys until I can get more answers. (1982). I believe that's another one of the ones I don't have. We use the C-shaped key. I don't currently remember places to put the eyeballs. I don't really know what I'm looking at with this one. Escape rooms often feel like having a big knot. And you're just trying to like untangle this big mess, like by pulling on different little threads. Until you can try to make sense of all this. Moon, Mars, Mercury, Jupiter, Venus, Saturn, Sun. These are all the Renata pieces. So if the 2 is... It was 32. Yeah, it was 32... 32 Lie was the name. So 32 means lore. So 2 means re. N-E-R-R-E-O? I don't know if that translates, if the 2 is related to the other numbers. It's not a 2, it's a Z. Renzo. Renzo. Spelling that out as like a numpad, it would be 43259. Oh my god, I'm so sorry, everyone. I saw it as a 2 because of the other puzzles with the other heads. I thought it was related to that. That works. And now I can see it's you just spell the word Renzo. That's it. Oh my god, this one's been taunting me for so long. Oh my god, call about puzzle boxes. Oh, it's the doors. Oh. Oh. That's a good sign. I was worried that because of the fact that the same years show up in the supercomputer, I was worried that we had learned that we only want to, that we need to somehow turn all these rooms into one of 3 numbers. But maybe those numbers are answers inside of these things. But yeah, these are puzzle boxes that look like they resemble every single room that I'm currently trying to solve. So I'd open these to do that. Verschlossene Erinnerungen. Teak, oak, steel, aluminum. In Verschlossene Erinnerungen, the artist invites us to participate, play, and ponder. At a glance and first touch, these boxes appear nonsensical, unopenable. At closer inspection, patterns appear, forming meaning and order, and the participant can start to sense that this piece is only part of a greater puzzle, and the solution's elsewhere, perhaps even elsewhen. So there's no date on Verschlossene Erinnerungen, but the question is when it started? It specifies Dusseldorf. I don't know what to make about the Dusseldorf part. If it's asking when it starts, then it could be the earliest date in the sequence. Anyway, I'm pretty sure we put in the codes from the other puzzles, and now it makes a little more sense why the game tells me what the doors look like, because it means that I can review from my memory which door matches with each number without having to, and then as such get my answer out of it without having to revisit each one manually. I'll probably still have to revisit some of them because the answers aren't written in a compatible way. 1963, because they told me to call them, so why not? Pronto. Ciao, signorina. Did you find anything new? Yes. I love puzzle boxes. But what do they all mean? What is their connection to the past? The mystery makes them brilliant. Signorina, listen carefully. The past is the door to the future. Look for patterns. Is there anything else, Bella? I'm Bella now? Weird. 72%. Okay, so I know at least some of these. The other ones are going to be a little harder because I need to, like, probably go back to the room to figure out how to translate the answer in a way that I can translate over. Let's start with an easy one. 1953. Not you. They're called patterns and inscriptions. Might as well just call them doors practically, and that's almost every single one. The 1953 was the one that's laid out in this shape, like a mail slot. Think it's this one? Yep. 1953's answer is 0517. And I interpret 0 as the last one. 0. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 7. Uh-huh. Zero, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 7. Okay, it wasn't that either. Uh-huh. Okay. I figured the game puts in my notes, so I might as well fail at each one on purpose real quick. They're all 4 digits. I think that one might be the spinning boxes one, somehow. Already failed this one before. Okay, I think I've added them all to my journal now. Yep. Boy, that's a lot more objectives all of a sudden. Okay, this one should be easy. Yeah, this one. So, this one. This one. No! I misclicked. Yeah, the big fat one, the wormy one, the Y, and the long plus. Okay. I guess I'll cross out the year. That'll be my way of knowing that I've opened this box. In 1932, in Frankfurt am Main, Edith Weiss gave birth to a girl child. She was the first of 3 girls born in as many years. From one of the few remaining photographs, we can see that she was a small child. Her mother looks proud, with little Lore, so that's Lorelei, in her arms, while her father appears as a blur, leaving the frame hastily while the picture is being taken. That's me. If I'm Lorelei, at least. So Lorelei was born in 1932. I'm curious about this one. This has to be the spinning squares one. Each of these squares was spinning in a particular direction, so I'm guessing the direction it's spinning towards is probably the button you press, and then the middle one when it's not spinning. So the first one was the one on the right was spinning to the left. The second one is the middle one, is the left one not spinning. Third one is the one on the right spinning upward. And then the one on the left, on the right, yeah, this one's spinning upward. Okay, I got it. I thought that my notation would be insufficient, but I guess it was enough. So amusingly, I'm somewhat more safe when the answers aren't numbers, maybe, because I can differently anticipate what they are. If I wrote a symbol, that's probably the answer. But if I didn't get to write a symbol, then who knows what the fuck, how I translate it over, like what happened with the numbers. We'll see. Maybe the other ones are even right, and maybe just that one is fucked up somehow. I can always just review it. A portrait, presumably of her father, Harold as I remember him, 1948, is scribbled on the backside. In her earliest known work, the technique in the drawing bears... drawing bears... You fucking furry. Alright. I read that says drawing bears. Not... The technique in the drawing bears a strong resemblance to the computer graphics today. Using only thin ink lines to create connected triangles, an image of a face is created, making this one of the first, if not the first, known example of polygonal art. She made polygonal art that's older than polygons? Like, art polygons, I mean? Alright, inscriptions. Let's try 1962. The star and the sun. Where's that one? What? Oh, there's music. Okay, yeah, this is it then. So first one was this one. And this one. And this one. Then the more normal triangle. Nope. That should be it. Unless I'm mixing up my triangles because I drew them badly. No. I wonder if the first symbol is wrong, the cross. Because I interpreted that was the one thing that's in front of you, but you're technically looking at a wall at that point. So maybe you're supposed to interpret as being the one you could see. And not the one that's technically directly in front of you. Possibly. Alright, what else do I have? Already tried 53, let's try 57. They're all in a ring, 5 sets of 2, in a semicircle. I think that's this one. I wrote this one down as being 5, 3, 14. 2, 3, 4, 5, 3, 1, 4. Alright. So far 3 of these work, and 2 of them don't. That's not the worst. By the late 1950s, focus shifted on her own independent work. She crammed a century of art into a decade, including traditional painting, as well as short films and animations. If one should highlight her work in the late 50s, her 1957 exhibit, Sicht, which included a series of photo dream collages, was probably her most outstanding work. I'm looking for the information about when this exhibit started, if I can find it. In Dusseldorf. So I'm thinking that that answer might be here somewhere. (1938) two hallways opposite each other, or two rows. Yep, that one, probably. 0783, or 0753. 0, 2, 4, 5, 6, 7, 5, 3. Okay. I'm always a little worried that just like the orientation of the box is gonna not match up with my numbering system, and I won't know yet until I go back and check. But they were like old fixed camera angles. So for the most part, my information is probably based on that. The most confusing camera angle was probably the one where I had to spin a camera around in circles, as far as how to denote that, but then it turned out that the answer was just a bunch of shapes, so I didn't have to actually double check that one because I drew the shapes. Her parents started worrying about the situation in the city, and in 1938 they decided that she should go live with her aunt in the country. Aunt Barbara had suffered several nervous breakdowns, but her grip on reality was at times fleeting. She would, however, look back at the 4 years with happiness. My aunt taught me what she pieced together about art, but often forgot to feed me. She prepared me well for life as an artist. Oh no! That's tragic and charming, except for the part where you're starving children. Okay, this is similar. It's 2 rows of 5, but it's like more of a consistent grid. God damn it, stop it. Why am I yawning? It's 6 p.m. and I have not lacked sleep, so this is annoying me. Let's see, 9642. So 9642. Yep. So interestingly, it has not turned out to be it has not turned out to be a numeric code. It's turned out to just be my own code I made for myself, and as long as I'm consistent between when I wrote it down and when I interpret it here, it works out as giving me these. I think I kind of inherently wrote them down as a numeric code when possible because it just felt intuitive. Like, most of our answers are in the form of a numeric code. Like, we tell people numeric answers, we solve numeric blocks. So that seemed like a reasonable thing that would get translated over. Was not expecting a room that's filled entirely with puzzle boxes that just looked like each door. But that's, once I saw it, that was a logical follow-up to the fact that they were showing us photos of all the doors before. Either way, I can't solve this puzzle until I get deeper into the maze. Don't know if I have to finish it, but get deep enough to get every key. Which means I need to figure out when this art installation started, funnily enough. Her advertising sketches for KLB Electronics would lead to perhaps her greatest artistic triumph. KLB was at the height of its game, and believed then to be the future of computer manufacturers. In a frenzied creative fever, Jose Joe Hertzmüller decided that instead of a dry technical demonstration, they should demonstrate the OCU-3 at an art exhibition. The 1960 Electronic Art Symposium. She was one of 5 artists handpicked for the exhibition, and her contribution, Command, marked the start of her technological phase. Huh, did she make a video game, basically? $1960. Oh, that's the one I just did. Okay, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 of them worked. 2 of them didn't work. That's not bad. And going by what I saw in the other room, there's 9? Or how many puzzle boxes are in this room? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Okay, so there's 9 as expected, and I have solved 5 of them, so 4 of them remain. 2 of which I have bad answers for, and 2 of which I don't have access to yet. So not in a huge rush to deal with this one. Although it's a bit of a catch-22. I definitely should review the ones I got wrong. Let's maybe do that now then, yeah. Because either of them might contain a piece of paper that gives me the answer I need about Dusseldorf. But it's also entirely possible I already have that answer because, you know, a bunch of the stuff I've done has turned out to be like, oh, look, the answer was there all along, or oh, you could solve this the whole time and it wasn't even that hard. You just have to think about it the particular way, or else. My biography is being added to there. Why can't this just have a year on it? Okay, so we're looking for the rooms 1962 and 1953. 1932. 1962 was the right side of the ground floor. Okay. Given that they're no longer locked doors, it's a little harder to remember where the rooms are. Might just have to swoop through all of them if I can't find it quickly. But I found this one. Now at 74%. I feel like we're going slower than usual. So I feel like I think every 2-hour episode I get 10% done, basically. That's been surprisingly consistent. "1962 urges us to look around, perhaps even out the windows of our own personal space, to let symbols meet ideas. The work is open to several interpretations, but the artist leaves us a clue when examining symbolism from specific perspectives. Beliefs are only true when beheld in solitude." Is that a clue I need to work in then? Beliefs are only true when beheld in solitude. Alright, so here's where you look at 1. So it's probably actually the square one. 8 sides. That's the same triangle. Yep. Yep, so it's probably just that one change. Yeah, I thought it was whatever was going to be in front of me, which is otherwise largely true. But it's specifically which one can you see? Oh, this one. 8-sided. Right angle, 10-sided, or 10-pointed. Other triangle. Yep. Cross this one out. Alright, only one of them is currently wrong then. That's the first one I tried. What ultimately changed her mind was when her mentor, Stina Liljefelt, Took her to see Un Animal Terrible, Nero's 1962 film. She told me she hated it, called it pretentious, yet singularly dumb. But she went to see the thing 4 times. She sent a letter to Nero, explaining her fascination with the film. Nero telexed a reply. It was short and simply read, "The film is horseshit. Come make me a real masterpiece." In Nero's usual befuddling manner, it was signed with the one-time moniker, Guerrero. So it was signed Guerrero, but it was just a one-time fake identity that he never reused. This could be almost indicating that the thing started in 1962. I don't know, Nero's not mentioned here. She was invited over by Nero, and the exhibition is here, but so are all the other ones, so, oh. Doesn't really help me. I need to find out where the actual room is. $19.53, please. 1953. I believe go to the bottom right corner, take the spiral staircase up, and it's the weird diagonal room that was teasing me for a while. Still don't have 1973, which is right here. This one was kind of weird. 1953. One and the same realities exist simultaneously. One in a room, one televised. 10 individuals only identifiable on the screen. Perhaps a comment on our fixation with televisions, or a remark on individualism versus collectivism. The artist wraps the meaning in a mystery, as if asking us, who would you be, and where would you stand if you were on TV? So it's on her face. The one in the background has both buns or pigtails or whatever. The one on the right we can't see, so it must be them. But it looks like I wrote 9 that should be a 0. So I was writing because I was doing 1 through 9, then 0. Let's try 2 now. Pointing at her side. There's the bun. Right, I don't look at 2. Wait, no, okay. Sorry, I got 1000% mixed up here. I was looking at the wrong answer anyway. Yeah, 1 was 0. Yeah, I did write that down. Okay. Let's see, next up it's 1953, so next number that's in the sequence is 3 that I can actually check. 3 from the front. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 3 is 7, yes. 1953, next up is 5. Viewing a hat man from the side. The one in the back corner is the wrong side. He would be flipped on the TV. And no one else is being filmed from the side besides 1. So 5 is 1. That's what I had before. Alright, hopefully 9 is wrong, because one of these has to be wrong. The face angle. Okay, I wrote that 9 is 5, but 2 is also a dead-on angle. 1 and 5 are both arrows pointing directly at the face of the guy. We can reasonably assume the answer is 2 then, but I'm not seeing the difference between the two of them. They both have a top hat, they both have a suit jacket. They're both front angles. I don't see it. They look the same to me. Is there something behind them? Is it an angle of the room? Weird. I feel like I should move on because I know the answer, because what I had before was wrong, so it has to be the other one, but I actually can't tell them apart. I don't know what makes one of them more right than the other one is. Okay, yeah, this should be it. 0, 2, 1, 7. Alright, there we go. Dropping out of university in 1953 was not something that resonated well with her parents, but she was at heart an artisan, and during the early 50s she tirelessly worked on her art puzzle boxes. So this is the art puzzle boxes thing, while living on commission work, ranging from designs for large corporations to a new logo for her favorite cafe, Rothaugen, which she frequented daily for many years. Technically, it says she dropped out of university in 1953, but then worked for early 50s on their art puzzles, on the puzzle boxes. It doesn't technically say she's bleh. It technically does not say that she started them in 1953, but this is good enough, probably, as a clue. I'm just saying that there's an ambiguity of language here that maybe I would not personally risk my life on. But I'll save first and risk her life on it. That's exciting. Floor 2. Right, no, it's floor 1 on the left. I can never remember where this mirror is. Oopsie. Down here, the triangle door, yep. I always expect a transition to play, so I always end up sitting here like waiting for a bit. Might take me a moment. I think the first person I'm going to find is going to ask me about minutes after midnight again. Then I have to then reroute and find somebody else. Just, you know, it's a maze. You get lost in mazes. That's what they're for. They even said that in the game. Yeah, I don't know the address, Coldman. Spare me, brother. Just please, I need my breakthrough. I'm begging you. Go figure that the specific puzzle that I really fucked up and needed to fix was the one that had the answer out of all the ones there that I need to use. I've been stuck for a bit. It's not super hard to navigate this maze, based on what direction I know I want to go in ultimately. But it is harder to navigate. We're trying to find these specific guys because I don't know where they are. What year did the exhibition Verschlossene Erinnerungen take place in Dusseldorf? Uh-oh, I forgot about the Dusseldorf part. I don't actually know, do I? It's not when she started working on the puzzle boxes. When did the exhibition of them happen? After 1953. Photo Dream Collages is something else. ALB. It looks like there's 2 more doors left, and it's the 2 doors that are the highest numbers, so the latest years. Damn it, I blew it. Still don't actually know the answer. I just got excited by anything hinting at the same topic, thinking that that might be it finally. I just want to leave, but I don't remember how. Or I suppose I should specify, I don't remember where the doors are. I'm about to go back to the beginning of the maze. Alright, well. Good enough, I guess. Alrighty, so what next then? Bada bada boom, bada boom, bada boom. I unlocked a bunch of boxes, but I didn't open all of them. Alright, this is my objectives. Those two aren't open, but for those who need the answers to go deeper, and I don't think I have them. Don't know how to do revolvers or hearts. There's a lot of revolvers in the game, but I haven't gotten any of them. So that's a bit of a problem for me. Where am I right now? Ah, here, okay. Don't think I have any information about that one still. Let's see. That exhibition is just planets. Just paintings exhibition. It's not a year. Haven't poked at the backyard for a while. Granted, there's not a lot going on back here, it seems. I still want to know how to get this, the code that is maybe tied to this woman, but might be tied to somebody else. I just don't think I understand what the dead woman code is. This is still a 16-digit code. Don't think that has anything to do with my bug reports, because my bugs... I have 9 bug reports with 3 letters each, so... You're really looking at some kind of like either 9 or 27, not 16. Coffee phone number... The translation of that keyboard, we did that already. Let's say paper, magician hat, order, red rune, oh yeah, that thing. I think we've pretty much been through all my notes. Except for wherever I use these codes for. The error code goes somewhere. 1847. This is where we got the lunar phases of 1847. So there's more 1847. 7 moving symbols. Okay. The Babylonians were the first to divide the moon phase cycle into 4, which became what we know today as the week. They also developed a horoscope by assigning them the 7 classical planets. Moon, Mars, Mercury, Jupiter, Venus, Saturn, and Sun. I wonder if that's the order they're in? Moon, Mars, Mercury, Jupiter, Venus, Saturn, Sun. Moon, Mars, Mercury, Jupiter, Venus, Saturn, Sun. Moon, Mars, Mercury, Jupiter, Venus, Saturn, Sun. Moon, Mars, Jupiter. Fuck. It's fine. We'll see if it seems right when I get there. Moon, Mars, Mercury, Jupiter, Venus, Saturn, Sun. So these from left to right are Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. Sunday. Get it? Okay. So just try to remember that, I guess. I don't know what to relate it to, but... Oh. But I can now translate these into days of the week. But I don't have an interaction to make with them. I don't think there's a code nearby for me to type. So I can use it to translate those symbols. So now I know that the names of those planets and those symbols and those days of the week are all analogous to each other. If that comes up somewhere, which I'm sure it does, but I don't see where. Oh. Hi. Call me 1798. Interesting. I even tried to read this note last time I was in this room, like a minute ago. But I like I walked towards that note and pressed A. And this time it did it, but like it did this when I was trying to read the note. Huh. So 1798 is just a new number for me, okay. $17.98. Someone's gonna be yelling about that at some point. It's just right there, and I never clicked on it somehow. It can be hard to tell what you're clicking on sometimes. You're... Obviously, it's literally flashing, but like your character tends to like surprise you with what you end up actually interacting with when you press A. 75%, that's 3/4. Meow, 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 meow. $17.98. I knew you would call. I know many things about you, sister. I know about your journey to Sulawesi Cave. I know the paths you will walk in that cave. Oh. First you will go east. You will then go in the same direction as before. East. You will then go in the opposite of your first direction. West. Then you will go north. North. Then you will go the same direction as your first direction, so east. Then you will turn 90 degrees to your left and go forward. Facing east, turning left is north. Lastly, you will go in the same direction as your third direction, which was west. Now I know what you will see there. Do you? Share foresight? What will the cave painting to the left depict? Oh, this is this is for after I do it, I guess. An ox. I see. In the middle. An ox. And lastly, on the right, it's an ox. No. That is not what you will see, sister. Okay. So this is good. God, it was just right there this whole time. I can't believe that it's been there. Honestly, though, this has come up way less than I thought. Like, I thought I'd spend so much time completely lost and having no idea how to find a thread to follow, so things have gone way better than I expected. I thought this was going to be the whole playthrough constantly, is just being like, oh my god, how do you even know what you're missing, or what to follow up on next, or what to go back to? You wish to know your future? Yeah. But also, this might lead to a ticket for Lorenzo's cart, because we're finally encountering Lorenzo in the environment, which hasn't really been happening, I think. The year is 1982. You will wander the paths of that primordial cave. You will go east. East. West. North. East. North. West. Please. At this point you will see cave paintings. Oh. Horse, bird, turtle. For a second there, I thought it was going to be another reflection for me to walk into and experience yet another maze. But not quite. Horse, bird, turtle. Okay. Damn. They're having a hell of a time right now. So now I guess I just go back and tell him now. Bleh. I suppose this is where coffee might not hurt to use. Wait. Oh, I haven't been going this far in. Right, that's a shortcut that I didn't have open before, so I'm not used to it even being there. It was 1798. I knew you would call. Now, you will tell me what you will see in that cave. What will the cave painting to the left depict? A horse? I see. Middle. Birdie. The one on the right. Dordle. Yes. Now, I see in your immediate future that something you need is in your bag. Magic show ticket, yay! I foresee that I will see you at the show, sister. I'm so annoyed by how little of a puzzle this part is that I encountered this probably like all the way back in the second hour of the playthrough or something, and it's just been waiting for like 10 hours for me to come back to it. I feel like this has to be the latest anyone has ever gotten the magic show ticket. Look all the stuff I got first. That's interesting. You kind of can communicate how your playthrough went to people by just showing them your inventory here. Surely I can use these slabs somewhere, right? Interacting with them can lead to unexpected consequences in parallel worlds. I took them all from that one other maze. You'd figure that you'd put them somewhere, but it hasn't really come up. I might be missing something there, too. I mean, I'm always missing something. Appeared through a magic trick after a telephone call with the fortune teller. On it, Lorenzo the Great's magic show is printed in swirly letters. It is newly printed. Lorenzo the Great is a moniker believed to have been used not by a single illusionist, but rather a group of people, including escape artists and fortune tellers. Its first documented use is in an advertising poster for a traveling magician from the mid-1800s, but the use of the name is probably much older. The name has been referenced in a series of German silent movies of the Expressionist era, as well as the lost media phenomenon, The Third Eye. The Third Eye. The Third Eye is vague enough culturally that I don't give it a second thought, but now that there's been a weight given to it by this game, that I would presume that the Third Eye refers specifically to what they were working on here. And now it's lost media. These layers of media involved also kind of make me think about House of Leaves. Because for those that don't know, House of Leaves is kind of a wild story. Like, it's most famous probably for just being about a house that has a door that opens to an impossible space, and that being an infinite and insane labyrinth that seems to change and has a malevolence to it. And that is a very evocative part of the narrative. But, in particular, that is meant to be a piece of fiction that exists in the setting. And then there's layers in the book itself, because the book also features what is functionally like a feature-length, massive, it's like a book-length video essay. It's just an essay, I guess, but like it's akin to like what you're used to in the form of video essays, like the kind of media analysis. There's a whole book written about the story with the house and the book and the door and everything. And then there's a third character on top of that who is themselves just doodling on and writing in the margins of and just kind of ranting both about the essay they're reading and it's the thing that it's criticizing, and also just about his life and just kind of going on and on. So there's like 3 entire layers to House of Leaves. This is why it's such a weird, wild book, and it does do other strange things that, as far as like as it's like escalating and doing weird stuff narratively between those layers. And also it's just kind of famous for being weird with its page layouts, like kind of fucking with you by having page layouts that are increasingly nonsensical or strange or reminiscent of what's happening in the text in goofy ways. And that stuff's all fun. I feel like the most interesting thing is the layers to the narrative, but it's the last thing you hear about because you're more likely to have heard about how it has weird pages, or just the fact it's more direct influence of just being about a labyrinth house. But what I find interesting is that in some ways this game is doing all of the things that House of Leaves does in different ways, but in a very like adaptational way. Not that I think it's specifically an adaptation of House of Leaves, but like if you were going to make a movie or a game out of House of Leaves, you by very nature could not just recreate House of Leaves directly, because some stories are just stories and you adapt the themes and the narrative and the characters, and you just have to make it match like cinematic language and the runtime you have available and so on. But like House of Leaves is so tied to specifically the format it was written in that the moment you make it a different media, take it to a different medium, you need to like redo it and figure out how it interacts with that medium instead, because you can't just adapt the events in any real sensical way. Anyway. Oh, you're just here. Unless you're not. I mean, I don't fucking know if you're real or not. Is anyone? Seeing as you have a ticket, I suppose you are here for the show. Well, all I have left is this lice-infested wagon. The horse which carried it is as dead as magic. I am now but a nameless vagabond with a violent past. Only the most red of roses could awaken the memories of my great show. Well, I have the rose. It's been there for a while. So that's good to know. Yes. I remember it like yesterday. Do you? That sure seems like the same character model that is the guys in the quiz club and also is the guy who was taunting me all throughout. So I think there's just one male character model. I'm screwing with this a bit. This is wild. Dude, this game frequently feels like a Suda51 game. And even this reminds me of like Shadows of the Damned had like these weird two-dimensional shooter segments that you would play. Those were weird to play for a few reasons, including the fact that they use the same riff as one of my favorite Bastion songs. This like string section. And so that really opened my eyes to how much like, oh, that's an audio sample. Neither the Shadows of the Damned people nor the Darren Korb of the Bastion soundtrack development recorded that string section. It was like in their software. And that's how they got that audio. Just very weird to hear the exact same sample in two different songs, two different video games specifically. But he's doing the three-finger thing. Welcome to the sideshow, sister. For a measly 10 American dollars, I can show you a trick I call the disappearing woman. It might take you to unexpected places. Uh-huh. Your support keeps the arts alive, sister. Now, please brace yourself. Hi. You have traveled far to get here. Come closer, and I will tell you how this all started. This is the tragic story we call the Legend of Creation. Thousands of years ago, the third eye shone over the islands in the Far East, but one night it fell from the sky. A human found it, and when she held it, she saw the magic of this world. She had a vision. She had painted a creature in red ochre on a cave wall. At the night, the crimson beast awoke. It spread chaos and death, and devoured the human and her people. Whoops. It was called the Yogg. The story of the red creature became legend, but the third eye lived on, and appears in the most unlikely of places to this day. The red creature. I am become lore, destroyer of worlds. Welcome to the sideshow, sister. The disappearing woman. Your support keeps the arts alive, sister. So same as before. Same but different. The journey has been long to reach these lost woods. Come closer and I will tell you one of the legends we speak of in this forest. This is the tragedy of the tale of the Baroness and the treasure hunter. Long ago, there was a noble human born in a palace. Hidden in her palace was a long-lost treasure in a will of its own. Paint the world in red, it whispered to her in her dreams. Driven by the influence of the treasure, she painted a treasure hunter who appeared in her palace as if real. Together they set out to find the treasure, known as the Third Eye. When they found it, all magic and wonders of the world appeared before them, but with the vision came great misfortune. The artist said, "Who needs eyes when there is nothing left to see?" She cut out her eyes and blindly fell to her demise, not as a human, baroness, nor artist. Instead, she had become art. She had turned into red paint from an old, rusty bucket. And her whole world faded away, as did the treasure hunter, but the Third Eye was once again prepared to trade hands. Well, I feel better on not spending money on the gachapon thing if there's a bunch of little story dumps here that themselves cost $10 and are currently clearing me out. No, the money! I guess I have to politely wait for it now. Ta-da! Oh, what's the deal with the main one? Welcome to the Teatro Rosso, sister. Where have I heard that name before? I feel like it was relevant to a thing I needed or something. Our ancient order knew of your return. Our prophecy told of a sister bringing us magical cards. We saw it, that it would open the doors to her past. Oh, the cards that I found 2 of them so far. Tell me, sister, did you bring us any magical cards? Ace of Hearts, the card of love. Use it wisely, sister. Okay. I suspected you somehow used the cards to open the card doors. So I was wondering what was going on there. Like, why is there a correlation here? The card of death. Use it wisely, sister. Who is even cheering? Who's even here? A heart-shaped key. Turned into its current form by a magician, considering its size, it is very light. When held, the key drastically changes its desaturated hue to bright red, but the difference can only be seen by the person holding it. Magically transforming items such as this have a tendency to turn red due to the spectral information encoded within. This particular item seems to conceal information regarding its past life as a card, but there is currently no known technology which allows the information to be decrypted. Though magical, its usage is restricted to unlocking doors. Items transformed through magic can rarely be reverted back to their original form. Turned into its current form by bright red. So even though spades are not a red card, this one still turns red. Does not have a different description. It's tied to the magic itself and not tied to its face card. I need to make $4 more to finish this room, so it's a good thing I was saving. Here's our third disappearing woman act. You have traveled far to find this forest. Come closer, and I will tell you something you may have already guessed. This is the tragic story we call the quest of man. The legends tell of a human who sought magic. He traveled to a dilapidated place in the west to find it. Somewhere on these grounds, he found the third eye, and when he held it, he saw the magic of this world. This encounter, by holy and profane, gave him a vision of his magnum opus. Filled by the spirit of the third eye, he saw a whole universe. Everything appeared before him, through magic. Alas, magic likewise gained him mastery of a woeful truth. He found that art is only as good as its spectators. In a feeble protest against Mammon and the mediocrity of man, he cut out his eyes. The third eye once again became a lost treasure, and the man faded away. This invention is just so good at getting people's eyes removed. Every single time, apparently. Alright, there's presumably one more. What happens if I talk to the same person again? Do you wish to see the trick once more? It's free of charge for returning customers. Okay, so you can rewatch them at any time. As I am sure you are aware, artists need to eat too. Return when you are in a more stable financial situation, sister. Okay, so this place seems pretty cleared out, but there's one more story to be had. What a wild visual. All the low frame rate 2D objects wobbling around. Alright. Well, I have 2 new doors I can open now with the card keys. And hopefully I'll find 2 more cards at some point. I was going to say that I wonder if I have to find them by finding a video feed that shows a person, because that did keep happening. They'd show a video feed would show a person, then it'd come out and they'd be gone. But that it was these a lot of the time. Actually, might have always been these. There's the one, I think it happened twice. This one here and the one with the hat out on the bench. I think that also was, that's where I got the calling card. So I don't know if any of the face cards have come from that process. Okay, so we have spade and heart. That's club. Spade and heart are both upstairs. They both await on the 2nd floor. This one over here is just surrounded by stuff we already have otherwise have access to. So what is this room called? Just the study. The scrapbook is full of newspaper and magazine clippings. Oh boy. Dusseldorf! Toys on display in museum. Interactive exhibition opens this weekend. Citizens of Dusseldorf visiting Bauschinger Kunstin Bauschinger Kunstinstitut is in hopes of seeing beautiful paintings on display will be severely disappointed. Curator Anne Catherine Brown states that the art of the future will require participation. The spectator will interact with the artwork and perhaps even co-create it. The first wave of this so-called art is an exhibition called Verschlossene Erinnerungen. Erinnerungen. I'm so bad at processing the really long words where I'm just like, okay. It's very hard to sound it out while also sounding like actually saying it in any sort of reasonable way. Oops. Spearheaded by Lorelei Weiss, a lesser-known artist from Frankfurt who thought it necessary to litter a fine institution like Bauschinger with childish puzzle boxes that only the most fixated could possibly open. A fine product for country fairs, no doubt, but Fraulein Weiss's clothing and insistence upon wearing sunglasses indoors suggests that she has the hubris to think her trinkets belong in the upper echelons of art society. Opening boxes in search of locked memories is a prime example of what is wrong with art today. Damn. Tough critic. But I've got my answer. Okay, 1953, which is the same number. Huh. That is odd, because the other message said that she started messing around with puzzle boxes in 1953. Or specifically, it said that she dropped out of school in 1953 and spent her early 50s messing with puzzle boxes. You definitely would expect a time gap between dropping out of school and having this art exhibition at Dusseldorf. And only in August, not even that late in the year. Well, the important thing is I have that.